Again, my name is Jess, and I am going to be recording my first episode other than the trailer. And so, to give a little bit of context, I'll be asking some very similar questions to the people who come along. So, I figured it was only fair if I share a little bit about myself, and then we'll be able to hear from everybody else in the community. So I always start with, or I'm trying to start with a favorite movie or TV show that the person is listening to or watching. And so right now I'd have to say I am trying to get back into Gilmore Girls. I think it would be the fourth or fifth time around. But it is fall, so I kind of have to go with Gilmore Girls right now. But yeah. So to jump in, just to share a little bit about myself and my background. So when I was younger, I had gotten really, really sick. And so I ended up in hospital for quite a while. And so I had autoimmune conditions that came from that. And so from my whole life, I kind of had something always going on with me health wise. And so I was diagnosed celiac, which is technically autoimmune, but basically just an allergy to gluten. And then thyroid started coming into play there as well, really close around there. And then more recently, I've been diagnosed with POTS, which is postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, which affects how my heart acts when I stand up most of the time. And then I also have been diagnosed with a rare neurovascular kind of condition. And don't blame me for how I pronounce it, but it's called erythromelalomalagia. There's some different pronunciations of it, but that's how my doctors go, and so I'll use that pronunciation as well. So that also creates some chronic pain in my legs in particular. But yeah, so that's kind of a little bit about my background in terms of my health. I was first diagnosed with POTS and EM very close together, but that was about two years now. I'd say 2 or 3 years now. Just close to the start of COVID, I started asking a lot of questions, but I had been struggling with these things previously. And so I'd say it was about 5 years before I officially got diagnosed with POTS and with EM. So it was a lot of struggling for a while without a lot of help, just because I didn't know if this was something that was worth asking about. Uh, I originally didn't think it was POTS in particular. My doctor had brought it up, and I said, "It doesn't sound like it." I I was not fainting, and so how could it be POTS? From what I understood, POTS you have to faint. But so I kind of put it on the back burner, and eventually she had said, "Well, why don't you just come in and do the test?" It's a 10-minute test basically where it's a standing test where you get your blood pressure and your heart rate taken, and just come in and do it. And so I went in on a day that I was having a bad day, and it was an acute paramedic that did it in their office, and it turned out that it was positive for POTS. And so the test would be positive if there was difference in your heart rate by 30 beats per minute when you're standing for 10 minutes. And I had a difference in heart rate of about 60 beats per minute. So that was definitely positive. And then at the end of the test, the person doing the test said, "Oh, well, I can't really let you leave right now because I'm pretty sure you'll go pass out." And so we made a lot of jokes there. I ended up being fine, as it was just my normal at that point, and I didn't realize that it was what POTS is. So that was good to get some closure in terms of validation in what I was feeling. So yeah, that was about 2 or 3 years ago. And then from that point, it had been 5 years of experiencing these symptoms. So quite a while. I then am in Canada, of course. So we have horrible wait times. So from that point, I got referred to a cardiologist who then said, after waiting for a few months to get in touch with them, they said that they didn't feel comfortable treating POTS because that's not their specialty. They deal with more so your classic heart attacks and regular cardiovascular diseases, your common ones. And so I got referred to the POT specialist in Ontario. So that's in Toronto, and that was a year and a half that I waited to see them because they are so backlogged. And so it's been a roller coaster, and I finally saw them in June of this past year, so 2023. And from there, we're trying new things, but it's been a roller coaster for sure. So that's kind of a background on my health journey, let's say. Um, Mental health side of things, I definitely it was during COVID as well, so, completely isolated from everybody. I had my family, but I was also in nursing school, and I was not doing well mentally. I went through a lot of anxiety when it came to my health in terms of school, so that was a lot, and then once I got diagnosed, it was a bad depression as well. And every single time I would get better, I would get so excited that it was all in my head and we're done now. And then when the flare came or symptoms presented itself again, it would be like going way deep down and thinking that it's come back. It's all over. I was in such despair every single time because I was so excited and I got my hopes up that I then went crashing down and it felt deeper every time. So with through the help of a few therapists, I definitely have come out of the hole of the depression for sure. Um, but it is still something on the back of your mind where you don't try to get as excited when you have your good days. You just try to take them as they come and appreciate the good days. And when you're having a bad day, recognize that it's okay to have bad days and to give yourself the grace to be able to care for yourself when you need to care for yourself and not push yourself too hard when you are having a good day. Although I think we can all agree we do that anyways. um, so support system, I try to touch on with most people. My support system has primarily been my mom, who has helped me in those days that I can't even get up and out of bed on my own because of the pain or because my heart rate's too high in the day. And so she's really been my rock throughout this all and there to care for me. My brother is also absolutely hilarious. And so he always likes to brighten my day with some humor. So that's been very, very helpful throughout it all. And a day in the life is very, very different every day. I try to get some schoolwork done because I'm still in school, not for nursing anymore, but because of my health, I did have to switch programs. So I'm now in a Bachelor of Health Administration. And so I try to get some school done. And then I also have a part-time job, which is a hybrid model. So sometimes I go in office, but sometimes I'm able to do it from home. So between school, work, and then just staying afloat with health, that is what my days end up looking like. My biggest project that I've just done is I was trying to keep myself busy on a flare, and I ended up crocheting a quilt. So I'll have to show a picture of that because I am quite proud of that. But anyways, that is kind of the types of things that I do. Crafts. I feel like a lot of people in the chronic health community like to do crafts because it's nice. I won't say easy, but it's things that we're able to do from the comfort of our home without having to go out, but keep us busy and mentally active. So yeah. Um, so some things that I have found that have been very helpful is light yoga. Yoga with Adriene has been amazing. I try to do the bedtime routines. I know some people are having a hard time with yoga in particular because of hypermobility. So I have been doing the bedtime routines, which I find are quite gentle. Yoga with Adriene bedtime, and there's quite a few videos that are my favorite in particular. So yoga, and then also some daily affirmations is one thing that I've been trying to get a little bit better at. And then also which helps me a lot, is, my dog, who I was just staring at right there as she was moving. Her name is Elda, and, she's been a lot of fun to take care of, but also she's helped take care of me as well, and so I really have noticed anxiety and depression decreased with her there with me. So that's been a lot of fun over the last year, almost year and a half. Um, so yeah. And some resources that I've found have been helpful. Um, Honestly, the Instagram community that has been being built, for the chronic health community has been absolutely wonderful. I didn't think about starting anything like this until I met one person in particular, um, in through Instagram, and I had chatted with her in terms of why she felt it was important to speak her mind in terms of advocating for people to hear what's happening with the chronic health illnesses and the community in particular. And she had said that it was important to her because if she can just help one person, then it would be worth it. And so I was feeling that way as well. So to kind of give myself a goal to get outside my comfort zone. I'm working on my confidence and pushing myself a little bit in a safe and healthy way. And so this was a goal on a part of that. And so I'm hoping to continue pushing myself outside my comfort zone. I'm trying to continue to get more confident in myself, and through this chronic health journey, I really noticed my confidence diminish in terms of being confident within myself to be able to do the things that I want to do. And so learning to appreciate myself and to be encouraged by myself and to be confident again has been a hard challenge, but something I am definitely working on. Um, so yeah, I just wanted to come on and give a little bit of a background on me. I don't think it's very fair for somebody to ask people to open up if they're not willing to open up themselves. So, yeah, that's just a little bit about me, and I can't wait to start this journey with anyone who's willing to listen. So, thanks so much. And yeah, hope you all have a great week ahead. Thanks.